Hey there friends, it's Chad from Colorado Giants. Today is Tuesday, June 13th. Gonna try to get back into the swing of the Tuesday updates, so stay tuned. Since you made it through that intro, consider subscribing to the channel. There's a little thing down here that says subscribe. Hit it, it'll turn into a bell. Hit that too, so you get a notification when a new video comes out. Anywho, I'm in the greenhouse today and I've got some things to show you. It's going to be a general update as well as just to let you know a few things that I'm doing. I'm wearing my brand new GPC coat. I still have to get the patches sewn on. If you haven't seen it, whapow, backside, front side has the GPC patch, your name on it, and then you sew your Letterman style patches for your accomplishments on it as you get them. I'm wearing my coat in the greenhouse because it's cold outside. It's 50 degrees outside, 50, 52, somewhere thereabouts. If I'm feeling froggy, I will inlay a 7-day forecast over here so you can see that we have had nothing but clouds and rain and cold. It's bizarre to say the least. And then it's interesting that the opposite is happening over in the East Coast, the more of the Midwest, Mid-East, I don't know, from where I'm located. You know, you guys are not getting any rain and we're getting it all. But with that being said, being from Las Vegas, I'm grateful for the rain. It all flows downstream, so Las Vegas's Lake Mead is getting all that. And you see on the news that those reservoirs that were darn near empty are full again. So, you know, issues that really aren't an issue. Thankfully, the pumpkin plants are big enough, or were big enough, that by the time, you know, we've gotten all this cold and damp and cloudy, they're able to push through it with the aid of fertilizer. Everything else is basically not growing, or it's growing at a snail's pace. So let's jump right into it. I'll take the phone off of the tripod. I'll show you the watermelon plants, the tomato plants, the project that I got going on today, and we'll talk about the pumpkins. Here are my watermelons in all of their glory. Probably, I don't know, 2 foot long, if that. This one's growing a little bit better. It was and has been the more aggressive plant. That one might be 3 feet long, if I'm lucky. It is growing though, but watermelon plants, it is my understanding that they like hot temperatures and sun, both of which we're not getting basically any of. So maybe they're just saving it up for when eventually the sun shows. They'll just take off like a rocket ship. If these continue to be, you know, not doing anything, I've already thought about taking at least one of them off and letting pumpkin plant grow over here. Because, as you can see right here, I'm rapidly running out of room. My project for today, super zoom in, is to install this, here's my finger, install this valve right here. So I can put this shut-off valve right here and I'll be able to mix this. This typically is my fertilizer tank. So if I'm watering out of this tank, I can't mix because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to cross-contaminate, even though it's really not that big of a deal. But I want to be able to shut this off right here. So while I'm watering this 100 gallons, I can continue to mix this tank. So it stays nice and mixy and in solution. When that one's done, I can close that valve, open this valve, and then I'll be watering in my fertilizer solution. With that being said as well, that is a change that I've made this year, is that I'm not putting 200 gallons worth of fertilizer in at a time. I'm watering in 100 gallons, and then I'm fertilizing 100 gallons. So I'm cutting my fertilizer use in half, and I think that that's doing the job. It's getting everything done sufficiently. Also, a quick little bonus, I had to replace my my misting timer because I didn't unhook it last year, and apparently there was some water trapped in it and everything kind of froze and got a little busted. But I just turned the misting system on. As a whole, it looks pretty good. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. You can see that little stream of water right there. That should be a mist and not a stream. So I need to replace a few nozzles that just screw on and off. But other than that, it looks pretty good. And don't get me wrong, the irony is also not lost on me that I'm getting my misting system working now during this crazy weather. But the sun will come out tomorrow. You know, whatever that song is. You know what I mean. So, misting system is rocking and rolling. All right. So, on to the plants. My plants are doing great, actually. I am leaps and bounds ahead of where I was and where I've basically ever been at this point. Today, the 13th, I'm really in my pollination window. From now until July is where I want to pollinate. I'm not one of those super early pollinators. I just I don't know. I'm just not. It's never been my thing. I don't think it will be. I think a pumpkin grows, 100 days thereabouts. You get too early, you're just asking for things to go wrong. So the plants as a whole, I need to catch up on my vine bearing. I'm not very behind. I'm maybe 2 or 3 nodes behind. These vines are getting terminated. That's why those ones are purposefully not buried so much. I'm going to let them grow a little bit. I'll maybe bury that last node right there. Actually, probably not where that pumpkin is. Right there. I'll cut that off. And I want clear, divided walkways. So let's check out the main vine. Each one of these is a foot. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we're right at 18 feet long, the plant is. And I do have a pumpkin right here. So that pumpkin, I would say it's anywhere from 7 to 10 days away. Careful there. From pollination or from opening. So 7 to 10 days away from being pollinated. While I'm right here, I'm going to take a look in the vine tip and see if I see any other ones. Which, I don't, so that's not ideal. I would like to see another one in there just in case something goes awry with that one, but it looks like this is the one. And hopefully it is, because with no pumpkin in the tip and only, let's see, the tarp, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 feet left before we reach the end of the greenhouse. These plants are growing so fast. Oops, I see a pinched vine right there. These plants are growing so fast this year that I'm just running out of space. It's as simple as that. Which is surprising, because like I said, it's been cloudy and cold and all that stuff. So I can only wonder, how big would these plants be if we've had sun. As a whole, May was the 4th wettest May that the Denver area has ever had. June, we typically get 4 inches of rain, thereabouts, and we're already past 2 inches on the 13th with rain in the forecast for just about every day. So we may have the wettest June on record as well. So yeah, interesting. Plants looking good. A couple of leaves got a little burned. We had one day where the sun poked through and I had turned off the wet wall. I just leave that on now because I was trying to keep everything nice and cool, but whatever. This one, the pumpkin, is right there. Probably about the same as the other plant. These might pop off on the same day, actually. And this one has even less space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 18. So actually they're the same. They're the same, and this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're about the same. I have 5 feet left until I'm out of designated pumpkin space, with the potential of ripping out a watermelon plant. I want to keep one, but maybe I'll rip out the other one if it doesn't take off, and I'll just let vines grow over that way. So this one too, I would say 7 to 10 days before it opens, maybe less. Just depends on the sun, really. And that's really all I got for you. Vine bearing, we've talked about that in years past. Make sure you keep up on your vine bearing. Knock on wood, I've been pretty diligent in my vine bearing this year. So that's not a huge problem for me to get caught up on, even though we have done a good bit of traveling and doing family things and stuff. I'm not super behind on my vine bearing, so 1, 2 nodes behind on average, 2 nodes behind, which is where I want to be. I don't bury right up to the tip or anything like that. So I think that's all I got for you. If you have any questions, comment below. I'll get to them eventually. And subscribe. Check out all the other awesome pumpkin content that's out there. It's very much a thing these days, so it's cool to see other people documenting their grows and sharing their information with us. That's great. I'm very excited about that. So we'll catch you next time. Get out there, grow yourself a giant pumpkin. We'll see you out there.